Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Pemba On Demand live stream. I'm Norm Chapin, your host for the live stream. Our live stream today is the Optimizing of Urgent Stroke Endovascular Interventions, a Lean Six Sigma project. Dr. Camilo Gomez will be our guest today. Camilo is a fellow Pemba alumnus, graduated from the Pemba program back in 2006. He's also a vascular and interventional neurologist and currently practices at the University of Missouri Medical Center. Camilo, welcome to the Pemba On Demand live stream.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me, and I'm flattered that you asked me to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you on the show today. I'm looking forward to learning about your project and the innovations that you have created at the University of Missouri Medical Center. As I was preparing for this talk, I got really excited about learning about how you approached it. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I thought maybe before we dove into your project, not sure which is correct, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about your professional career and maybe have you share some of your thoughts regarding your MBA. I know you graduated from Pemba a few years before me in 2006, but would you mind sharing a little bit with the audience about your experience with Pemba at the University of Tennessee, and maybe share with us a little bit about your motivation for getting an advanced degree like the MBA?
Absolutely. I think that my decision to join the Pemba program and completing it is probably one of the best decisions that I have made in my career. I highly recommend it for anybody, particularly in mid-career, and anyone who is going to be involved in managerial leadership positions. I certainly think that every departmental chair in any university in the United States should have gone through a program like this. And we can talk a little bit about the specifics. Now, what happened to me is that in 2003, I decided to leave my post as stroke center director at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And for a variety of personal reasons, I decided that I needed to stay in the city of Birmingham. So I essentially moved into creating a private practice group that at the time was what we sort of called privatemia, if you will, which was a hybrid for, yes, we do private practice, but we were involved in things. The difference being that we substituted the bureaucracy inherent to university systems for our own infrastructure. And as such, I moved into the business world to some degree. In order to create that, I wrote a business plan. Even before I went to Pemba, I wrote a business plan out of nowhere. Got a loan from the bank and move on. But it became quickly apparent as CEO of this corporation that I needed to be able to, at the very least, speak the language, to be able to communicate, to negotiate successfully, to really benefit and have my people benefit from our participation in a variety of programs. And so at the time being, again, mid-career, I said, I think getting a master's in business administration is probably the next best step. And that decision was solidified by a happenstance meeting with an old friend of mine, a neurosurgeon of trade, that I happened to be in Dallas for a national meeting, and we ended up having dinner together. And I said, you know what, I'm thinking of, actually, he said to me, I'm thinking of going to business school. And I said, well, I just matriculated at the University of Tennessee. And then he said, are you kidding me? I said, no. And said, so he actually matriculated the next week and became one of my classmates in 2006. So we actually, as friends of 20, 30 years, went through the program together, graduated through the program together. And it was a phenomenal experience for us, sort of as a second high school, so to speak, misbehaving and so on. But the program, when I started looking into which program is available to a physician, by all metrics, the Pemba program comes across head and shoulders above everybody else's in terms of duration, intensity, focus, the dimensions. It is so refreshing that on one hand, you learn the same business principles that any business program may have, but on the other hand, every example or many of the examples or the bulk of the examples have to do with medical care. And therefore, they're immediately applicable to what you're doing. The projects that you have to do with your own practice, and so on and so forth. And the friendships and comradeship that you make with the other classmates, they essentially last forever. And I'm still a member of the alumni council, and I enjoy communicating quite a bit, and I enjoy very much actually communicating with you guys. So when we finish this project we're going to talk about today, it seemed to me fitting that I let you know about it because there may be of interest to any other people. And I think that there's strength in numbers in terms of growing um, uh, the disciplines, if you will, of applying good business practices to medical care.